Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Ron's Keto Cafe, and I'm Ron. If you're new, welcome. If you're one of my many returning members, welcome back. If you happen to be new, could you please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing to my channel. And before we get started, I'm not a doctor, don't make any medical claims. This is all based on my own personal journey. And welcome to week 21 update. And I wanted to talk about the walking challenge in the week and how it went and all the good stuff in between. So in the month of May, I had a walking challenge of 60 miles. I not only made the 60 miles, I did 70 miles of walking. We walked a lot of street walking in my usual places and some not so usual places, and I feel pretty good. And that went really well. And coming up for June, I would like to talk about what happened this past week, about a week ago or so. Hope you have an amazing week and a month. So we're in a new month of June, and I had a follow-up to my ear infection about a week ago. And, I was telling her about my weight and what I was happy about how things are going and everything. And then she told me that I hadn't had a physical in a couple of years, so she made an appointment for a physical for me coming up in July or August. And so she ran some blood tests on me and stuff like that. And anyways, I come to find out I have high blood pressure, I have high cholesterol. And she wanted to know why my alcohol level was so high. She said, in fact, it was so high, it was beyond the limits that they allow you to drive. And I was doing some research on that particular subject, and I told her I don't even drink. I never really drank alcohol. When last time I had a beer, and probably did when I was in 19, 21 years old, when I could start drinking, and when I used to work and go out a couple of nights with the guys, but I never really drank that much. And then when I got married, bachelor's party, we had beer that night, and that was pretty much about it. And so that's been well over 40 some odd years. So I have something called Brewer's syndrome. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it has to do with eating a lot of carbs, and the carbs generate sugar, and it converts it over to alcohol, and that's why my level of alcohol was really, really high. And the bad thing about that is if I would have got pulled over and got into an accident and they checked my blood levels, then I could have possibly paid a fine or lost my license for a while. But it's a good thing she did all that stuff for me. So, are you really as healthy as you think? I don't know, but I would recommend having your blood work checked periodically. So when I do another follow-up to that physical, I'm going to have a whole list of stuff I want to check for my blood work. And even if it's something that don't pay through the insurance, I'll pay it out of my own pocket. And then we'll know exactly where we stand. So as a result of all this, my weight was 280 pounds on her scale, and I weighed in this morning, I was 272, and this was about a week and a half ago now. So I lost quite a significant amount of weight. So I'm going back to true keto and some low-carb meals, cutting out all the stinking carbs, definitely the processed foods and the hyper-processed foods and all that sort of thing. Now, I only got a handful of soda cans left. I'm going to be giving up my soda. I've been having a lot of problems with acid reflux, and my supervisor, Jennifer, was telling me the other night she gets that too once in a while. She told me drink about a half a glass of regular whole milk, and that should help it out. So next time I have it, I'll definitely try that. I'm cutting way back on my coffee, down to 2 cups a day. Now, I was drinking coffee with light cream, and I started switching over to half and half cream. I wanted to see if that's going to make a difference on the acid reflux I've been getting from coffee. So far, so good. In the morning, I was having between 6 and 8 sausages, and then my 2 or 3 eggs. So I'm cutting way down on the sausages to 4 now. In other words, half the amount. And in Carb Manager, I've been calculating exactly how many carbs I'm eating because I'm trying to really keep that under 20. And that's our 8 o'clock whistle because it's 8 in the morning. And so we're going to keep the carbs under 20, and and I've already been noticing I've been flushing out my system by going to the bathroom, doing number one a lot more than usual because I've been up in my water intake. For instance, yesterday when I went walking, I did 3.5 miles of walking yesterday. Really beautiful day in our city, so I did a lot of heavy street pavement yesterday. And I came home and I had a huge thing of electrolytes, and with actually the perfect keto collagen, chocolate flavored, using up what I got left of that container. I already have it in my grocery carriage from Perfect Keto. I'm going to be getting the strawberry flavored one next. They run about $44, and that'll last me about a month. And I don't want to do a subscription, but I just want to do it day to day on that. So they recommend that every time you do a lot of exercise, walking, or for instance, or anything, to use that and to drink that. So what I do is before I go walking, I put ice in my container, and then I put a scoop of that in, and I fill it up with bottled water. I buy the gallon waters at Market Basket, and then I'll have that, and then I'll make some Crystal Light in between all that, and some stuff with electrolytes in it. But that's how we're going to get ourselves back on track. Now, I've already noticed like my stomach doesn't feel bloated anymore, like when you had 2 or 3 plates of turkey around Thanksgiving. My clothes starting to fit a lot more looser, so I feel really good about that. And the early days of 2020, when I was doing this type of plan, I was doing true keto, and I was losing a lot of weight rapidly, and I think that was the reason why, because I got rid of a lot of the bloatiness in my body. And we're going to continue doing that. If you recall, in 2020, a lot of things were shut down, so we couldn't do anything else but walk. And unfortunately, I had to walk with Dad on, and I'm not doing that again. If I got to go back to that, I'll just hibernate in the kitchen in my back room over here, and continue on with the kitchen meals that I make. But I used to start out the eggs in the morning. I have 3 eggs, and I'll make an omelet. I have 3 eggs over easy, and sausage and bacon and stuff like that. And then in the afternoon, like today, for instance, I already had my eggs over easy, and I made 3 scrambled eggs today. But I made kind of like an omelet. I put a little bit of pepper and onion into it, and salt and pepper, and 1 slice of cheese, and then I ended up. I have some light cream left from the Market Basket brand. I put that in, and I mixed that in and to use it up. And then I'm trying something different with the avocado oil. I put about a tablespoon of avocado in right with the eggs, and when I did that, they didn't stick to the pan. So I'm going to start doing that every morning. And then I put 1 slab of butter in the bottom of the pan, the Kerrygold butter, and that gives the eggs a really good flavor. And then I add 1 slice of cheese over the top of it there, and it was a really good breakfast this morning. And then I started buying the Shibboleth, those yogurts now, the sugar-free ones for a snack, and some cottage cheese ones, just a small snack size. Because I find myself, if I buy the bigger one at Market Basket, I'll sit down and eat the whole thing in one sitting. So I'm trying to get away from all that. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, health issues and how to reverse your health and all that stuff there. Now, I was watching the Ketogenic Woman's every Friday, but every Sunday night she puts out a video where she talks live, and I got a link below to show more. And she was talking about your metabolic rate, and talking about measuring your stomach, and if your stomach measures over 40 inches and all that stuff there. Now, she did keto at the very beginning and low carb meals like I did, and then she's eventually switched off to carnivore, which is basically an all meat based diet. Now today I'm having steak, and I'm going to do it up in the air fryer. I bought 2 huge slabs of steak yesterday, and I'm going to have 1 piece of that today, and tomorrow I'll have the other one. And then I don't know what I'm going to have on, which will be Friday. I'll worry about Friday when Friday rolls around. But for me, it's just a matter of just laying off the bread and the carbs and the high processed foods that were causing some really big time skin issues with me. My skin was really, really dry. My wife noticed over here, the top part of my hair is already starting to get dark brown again. And she says we think it's from the collagen. So collagen does a lot of good. It has a lot of healthy benefits. And some people will buy the plain collagen and they'll put it in with the coffee as a scoop there. But I tried all that stuff at the very beginning. I didn't like it. And then I was talking to a customer in the store the other day about how the doctor told her about all that monk fruit and all that other, like stevia and Splendor and the stuff in the pink package. I think it's Sweet and Low. All that is chemically produced in the lab, and it's all not healthy for you. Even soft drinks, I only have maybe 10 cans left there. When that's all done, I'm going to be laying off of that for a long time. there's a lot of stuff in there that's really no good for you, and they purposely add stuff into it. Now, I'm 69. Well, yeah, I'll be 69 in August, and over the years I was drinking soda. Soda just doesn't taste the same anymore because of all the junk that they've been adding. They didn't never had to add all that extra junk in. It was all stuff that make you sick and make you unhealthy and make you overweight. And the RFK is trying to educate people about it, and take away a lot of that stuff out of our foods, and we'll see what happens out of all that. So so we did a walking challenge. Again, Donna didn't win nothing Friday night at bingo. So bingo, I was in the back room setting up the charity pull tabs for that Friday night, and there was some fighting going on in the hall. One of the ladies had stepped out of line to get something, and another lady came in, and she got in line, and she got back in line, and they were fighting back and forth that she cut in line, but she was actually there first, and they were arguing back and forth for a good hour. We thought there were going to be some fist fights, and so the bingo manager decided to close the doors to 4 o'clock, and as a result, now I have to get permission now to get into the bingo hall at 3 o'clock with my wife, and my wife can't just sit in the bingo hall anymore, but she has to come in the back room. So all because of 2 people, they're not going to allow anybody to come in the hall at 4 o'clock to 4 anymore. So, and somebody goes in there and sets everything all up there, even well before I come in, and they have the door open, and people go in there at 1 o'clock when the bingo don't start till 6:30, because these elderly people have nothing better to do with their time. So they spoiled it for everybody else. So, it is what it is. And I already told my wife, if we have to go back to that again, you know what I mean, with the mask, I'm not going back there anymore. I refuse to wear the mask now. I'm not wearing it. It's the same way with work. I love my job and everything, but I'm not wearing that at work. If I got to go back to wearing that again, I'll stay home, Oh, speaking of work, so I had my review this past week, and I got all like 4s, a few 5s, and a couple of 3s. And everything was good. She gave me a raise, and they were really happy with me. I'm always in my uniform, which is my badge, and I'm very friendly with the customers, and I just absolutely love the job. And I've been usually, she puts me down for 2 shifts a week, and sometimes 1 if they don't have the extra shift. And I took 2 extra shifts this past week, and I took an extra shift last week for 3 extra days. So everything's been really, really good, and I just enjoy going to work there, helping the guys out, and then I go home at the end of my day, and have a fun time over there. And it's one of the best jobs I ever had, working for Marshalls or TJ Maxx there. We just had a 20% discount this past weekend. I gave Donna a little over $100 there. She spent it all in the store the last couple of days that weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, when I went with her, I talked to my supervisor. I wasn't scheduled to work. She said, if you want to come in, you can come in. So I come in at 5, and I'll work the closing. So she gave me an extra shift because they had the extra hours available. So that helps them out a little bit, so it doesn't put so much of a strain on the other girls covering the front area. But that's been going on good. We had the step challenge completed, and we're going to continue on with the low carb meals. We'll do some keto meals in between. But I noticed the other day when I made some shackles again. I made some coconut flour shackles with a couple of tablespoons of coconut flour. I put 2 eggs in, and I put a little bit of baking powder in, and I put 2 scoops of mayonnaise in, and a couple of tablespoons of water in, and then I mixed up the egg mixture, and I made 2 shackles. Shackles came out great. I put a little bit of fresh strawberries over the top, and some Chalk Zero over the top. But when I did the calculation in Carb Manager, the coconut flour, even 2 tablespoons, it was really, really high. So now I got to be really, really vigilant on what I put into my mouth to start keeping them damn carbs under 20 carbs a day. And, I just got to be careful, guys. And so if you're struggling with your weight and everything, watch some other podcasters and how they were able to get off their weight, and see what happens after all that, because I can't, when the doctor said, then if you don't take your medication, you got a 20% chance of having a heart attack or a stroke within the next 10 years. And I hadn't taken any medication in years, because I had a whole list of medications that I was supposed to take, and I didn't take any of that. I told her I'm not one of those religious fanatics, but I just don't believe that I want to take the medication because I don't know what's in it and what it's going to do to my body. It fixes one thing, but it could create issues with 10 other things. So, and that's why I was hesitant on getting that Jabberoo a few years ago, which I did, but that was one of the biggest mistakes we both of us made in our life. So far, it hasn't had too much health effect on me, other than I noticed my right leg with the lipedema and the edema that's in my leg. It's there. It won't go away. And my wife was perfectly healthy before 2020. Now she's got kidney disease, and she's got to go for treatments every day, and then eventually she'll be on dialysis. So, it's something to think about there when they tell you to take a shot there, especially the flu shots. We don't take the flu shots, and every time we used to take them, we used to always get sick. We don't do the flu shots no more. And she asked me that, you want a flu shot? And I said no. But today is Wednesday. It's the 4th. I go in the morning afternoon shift from 1 to 5:30, and then Thursday the closing shift, 5 to 9:45, and then go back in Saturday. Now Saturday we got the summer stroll, and I'll be able to go that for about an hour and a half, till they shut that down. But they're calling for a lot of rain Saturday again, so the mayor said they'll push it off to Sunday. If it's going to rain out, they're going to play that day to day on as far as what they're going to do for Saturday. And I'm hoping to push it off to Sunday because I'm off Sunday, and I'll be able to stay there a little longer and enjoy the entertainment. So it's just basically a lot of vendors and some live entertainment, and walking around and saying hi to everybody and stuff like that, and taking photos. And I used to film all that over the years, but of course everybody knows I don't film anymore. I just film my own stuff, and that's pretty much about it. So speaking about it, I guess that's about it. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Don't take any medical questions, but do your research and get your permission from your doctor. And don't forget to have a checkup every now and then if you haven't had one in a long time. But anyway, be that said, I'm going to get going. You guys have an amazing day. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Have an amazing week, guys.